first, let's turn to Reis McCormick. She is Director of Development here at the KD Conservatory. And I told her just before we came on just now that I was just walking through and looking at all of this stuff and wondering and saying to myself, if I just would have had this when I was first starting off my career, oh, the things I could accomplish. But nevertheless, welcome into the show, and I'm glad to have you on.
Thanks a lot, Brian. I'm glad to be here.
All right, let's talk about what does the Director of Development do?
Well, that's just a recent title. I've been on the faculty here for about 30 years, but you know, development, we've got so much community outreach going on that they needed somebody to kind of ride herd over all of that. We're very involved with Earth Day, Texas, coming up this weekend, very involved with the Girl Scouts of North Texas, which is next week, and we've always got short courses ongoing that we're developing. We have 3 starts a year for our associate's degree. So, you know, there's always something in the works. We're getting new classes all the time. And so they needed somebody to kind of be in charge of recruiting and all, keeping the alumni all herded together and working, and that's what I do.
How did this whole thing develop from day one? Take me back to conception of this company.
Okay, well, Kathy Tyner is our founder, and she was Kim Dawson's #1 agent back in the day. And so Kathy had the foresight to realize that all of those models needed to train somewhere. And so we exist as a camera school. That's how we started. We always have. And KD Conservatory is an homage to Kim Dawson. It was kind of Kathy's idea that it would mimic HB Studios in New York. But we're no longer a studio. We are 4 times as big as we were when we started. We've expanded into, we're a degree granting institution now. We have to jump through all of those regulatory hoops. But we're a fast track to an associate's degree. You know, an associate's usually takes 2 years. But this program is, well, we're a skills school, and we serve the student who wants to go to work. And you're going to be talking to some former students, you know, here in a while. I know I'll let them tell you about their experience with it. But what Kathy did was she assembled a faculty of award-winning professionals who, you know, we just take time out from our careers to mentor tomorrow's artists. And we've got people on the faculty, you know, everything from Broadway to Oregon Shakespeare Festival to primetime network stuff to, you know, voiceovers for games. I mean, we do it all. And that's not to say that we aren't excellent teachers and that we don't have a couple of PhDs among the faculty, but mostly we're, you know, out there doing it. So if you are a film student here and you, you know, your lighting teacher is working on, I'm using this example because it's true, it just happened. Our lighting designer resident, you know, he had a film that he took to festivals all over the country, and he's got several of our alums on his poster. And that's just how it works. That's, you know, you begin your networking once you hit the door. And that's the name of the game in our business. So for you to have, you know, kind of an audition every day in class with the people who are out there working, we like to take you with us when we go to work. And when we're directing a show at the Dallas Theater Center or Garland Summer Musicals, the first place we look for talent is in our classroom.
There you go. Reis McCormick joining us on the phone. On the phone. She's live in the studio. What am I? I'm crazy. She's alive. Director of Development here at KD Conservatory. Okay, how many kids are we impacting through these facilities here?
I can't tell you how many kids are in the building today, but it's been, I've taught thousands of students in the creative process class that I teach. So, and they're kids that are from every walk of life. We have people, I always like to call this school kind of a crossroads. It's like we're a dream factory here in this, you know, a strip center next to a highway in North Texas. We see it all. People come from the military, they come from midlife crisis, they come from high school, they come from rehab, they're on their way to careers in the arts from all kinds of backgrounds.
Well, let's talk about that, because I've always said on this show that you should follow your passion. And whatever your passion is, you can find a way to monetize that. I think that's the key to happiness as far as your work-life career goes. Do you agree with me with, like, if someone's in their 30s, 40s, even 50s, it's never too late to try to change the course of their career and go to an institution like this and do something they really love?
Absolutely, it's never too late. And a lot of people felt the impulse towards a creative life, but our culture doesn't really support that. I grew up as an army brat, and my dad always, thought, "Where do you get this?" And I think there are a lot of obstacles to choosing a life in the arts, but it's not, you're not bound by age or race or religion or gender. It's for everybody. We do short courses. If you're thinking of dabbling, if people have always said, wow, you've got great energy, and wow, you've got a great voice, and we've got a voiceover class at night that you can try before you jump in 100%. So it is for everybody, and it's not, it's it's not that everybody's going to go out and be a star, but I believe that every single person on the planet is creative, and you deserve to create at whatever level, wherever you are. I don't know how you gauge success, if it's a monetary thing or how big your audience is, but we're here to help support you in, to reach your potential, whatever that is, wherever you are right now.
I agree. I don't think you measure success monetarily as well. I don't think you do that. If you just genuinely feel good and it fulfills you internally, that's what really matters at the end of the day, not the amount of money coming in, although that is nice to be able to make a living off it.
Right, exactly. Well, that's one of the reasons that we do a fast track, because you don't want to enter life in the arts with a giant student loan. Okay, like you will come out of with a 4-year program. So it's a very doable price point, and it's an intense training. It's, we hone skills here. It's like learning Russian by being dropped in Moscow. You're on camera 3 times a week. If you're a dancer, you are dancing every day. You're working on your voice every day. It's boot camp, baby. You know.
And so is it 3 nights a week, 2 nights a week, 1 night a week? How is the schedule typically
Are you talking
laid
about
out?
Short courses or the
Yeah,
career
the short
program?
the short courses.
Oh, the short courses are an 8-week track, and it's 1 night a week for 8 weeks, and that's your buffet. But if you really want to get the degree, that's going to be an intensive every day, all day for 15 months. And we end with a showcase where the industry comes to watch you do your thing. We wine them and dine them. Business cards are handed out, deals are made, and I'm talking about all ages. We've got one little gal. She's 12 years old, and she's a stand-up comic. We got a lot of kids. Just take a tour of the school and look at the walls and see all the movie posters. We are connected to every film you see in a poster in the halls. Those aren't art. Those are our resume.
Very interesting. Of course, I've walked the halls here, and it is huge. I don't know how many different rooms you have here, but a guy like me can get lost. Pretty cool. So if someone's listening to us right now, they're like, you know what, I'd like to change the course of my career and get into something like that, or perhaps they have kids that want to, what's the best way for them to reach out to you guys and get started?
You're going to be talking to one of the reps here pretty soon, and they can actually give you the lowdown on where you would go on the website or what number to call. But it's, technology has made everything so easy. You can pull down the description of the course that you want to take and think about it and mull it over in the privacy of your own home without a sales pitch. But I say, boldness has genius in it. If you're thinking of doing it, check it off your list. Go ahead and get it done. Try. It's fun. If you're just a shy person, or if you have trouble standing up in front of a group for whatever reason at work, even if it's just making a toast at the Christmas party. I mean, the skills that you learn as an actor are life-transforming skills that will help you anywhere.
I agree. And if you're in sales, you have to have the ability to make cold calls. And that is essentially going to a business, knock on the door, go in there, give them your business card. That takes a lot of creativity, a lot of improv, a lot of personality to get through the gatekeepers.
We teach improv.
Yeah, so I think that even if you don't have any plans of getting on a stage, training like this can help you in so many ways in your professional life. So that is a great point you bring up. I shared a story with you before we came on, how my parents gave me a small little video camera at the age of like 11 or 12, and I started making little movies, and that turned into making bigger movies. And that was I think the thing that kind of pushed me in the direction that I am today. What got you interested? I know 30 years ago you've been here, but what got you into this business?
I think actors are born. I've known since I was a kid, and I was forcing children into my plays and forcing the parents to watch. And I used to come to dinner when I was a kid. I grew up in Virginia, and I loved history. And I made up characters. Like I had one character that I loved. She was Benjamin Franklin's maid, and she was a drunk. And so I would always make my parents, I'd say, I'm not going to be home for dinner tonight, but I want you to set a place at the table for Mavis. She's going to be here. And they knew, just whoever shows up, just pretend, just go along. So I think actors we kind of know who we are. We can't help it, and so some of us stuff it and try to get the degree in accounting, and others of us just jump in.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine getting a degree in accounting. That would be horrible. Reis McCormick, thank you, Director of Development here at KD Conservatory. We'll take a break. We'll continue all this conversation on the other side of the break. Plus, wait till you find out what one Russian airline said to their flight attendants. I could not imagine that being said here in the States. That and plenty more ahead. Stick around. I'm joined once again by Reis McCormick. She's the Director of Development here at the KD Conservatory. And it was great hearing from Dennis. Dennis has done a lot of stuff in his career, and I feel like we could almost do a whole show with Dennis and what the people he's met and the films he's made. But, when you look at, if you want to get in the film industry, the Texas film industry, not a bad place right here.
Oh, yeah, not a bad place. And, as an actor, in Texas, we get to do it all. If you live in a market like New York or Los Angeles or Chicago, you pretty much get pigeonholed. And one of the reasons that I came back to Texas was because I loved being able to do a voiceover on Monday and a TV show on Tuesday and an indie film. And, and speaking of indies, I heard you talking to Dennis about blockbusters. I took a workshop recently with Sharon Bialy from Walking Dead, the casting director from Walking Dead, and she was talking about the fact that nobody in Hollywood wants to take a risk anymore, and that's the reason they will only invest in the big, safe movies. And if you want the real stories, that tends to be, reserved for the indie now. And Texas is the heart of indie country. There are a lot of great films going on here, and, it's difficult in a right-to-work state to be a union actor, but I'm a staunch advocate of, of the union. I'm the vice president of SAG-AFTRA, the Dallas-Fort Worth local, and I keep my finger on the pulse of what's going on here. And the other thing is that when you live here, it's not uncommon to have an agent in other markets. We all kind of do that, but we've had a chance to do some really great stuff here. Working in New Mexico, I got to work on Breaking Bad. A lot of us go to Louisiana to work. So we're surrounded. There's good stuff going on in Oklahoma, and I think it's a good time to be an actor in this part of the country. You don't have to pack your bags for New York or LA anymore. Because we can do it all right here.
Am I the first person that's never seen The Walking Dead?
I've never seen The Walking Dead.
I know it was or is such a huge show, but for some reason I'm just not. Breaking Bad, yes, I've seen that, but Walking Dead, no. What makes this place so special? I know we've heard the stories, and of course. We've heard what people have gone on to do, and I think we talked a little bit earlier about tapping into your passion. And if your passion is filmmaking, then you want to be surrounded by the people who enjoy the same passion, or the arts or on the stage. But what really makes this place shine, in your professional opinion?
Well, I think the same thing makes this place shine that makes any place shine, and that is a respect for what in the individual, the creativity of the individual and what they have to bring to the table. Each person has a unique perspective. Nobody was born into your family at that place and time but you. And Kathy Tyner gets that. And we're a dream factory here at this little weird intersection of the universe, next to a highway in North Texas. So whatever it is that you bring to the table, it's going to be, if not agreed with, it's going to be honored and respected. And I think everybody, they make fun of me in my creative process class. I talk about sacred space, but I really feel that that's important, and I feel that. Why are you laughing?
It's just funny off the whole safe space. And I agree with you. I just think it's funny, sacred space. I think we all need a sacred space. We need a place where we can go and kind of just take it all in.
Well, we're particularly in our culture now, I think, risk adverse. And to do anything creative, you have to be fearless. Quite frankly, I'm a little bit worried about, the education system, and I'm all about putting the A in STEAM. And we don't know how to prepare the next generation because we don't know what's coming. I mean, 2 generations ago, you could train for something in school and pretty much describe what your workplace was going to be like, but the world's changing so fast now that I think the best way we can equip somebody, anybody, is to give them the courage to fail and to risk and to think outside the box. I think teaching to the test is crippling us innovatively speaking. And just look at how far behind we are in all kinds of innovation. Not just, the arts, but I mean, engineering, anything, medicine, we're lagging, and I think our education system needs a big boost from the arts.
Yeah, I agree. And I remember playing that triangle in music class, and I was one heck of a triangle player. I'd beat the hell out of that triangle. It was fun. But you're right. A lot of schools have got done away with their triangle program.
You got a tambourine.
You got a tambourine. So you were a tambourine. Now, when what they did is they laid all these instruments out and said, all right, come pick one. And I don't know why I picked the triangle, but I did. Or the wood block. Remember the wood block? Hitting that wood block?
And I remember that thing that you ran it. What do you call that?
I don't even know. And then, what do we have? The cowbell. Always more cowbell on everything.
Oh my God.
Okay, so someone's looking to kind of get into the arts, and this piques any interest of what they want to do. What's the best way to get involved?
What do you mean? What best way to get involved at the school?
Yeah.
How to sign up for the school? I would say, take a short course, dip your toe in the waters. Tell the haters to go away and just go ahead and do the thing that you've always wanted to do, and sign up for a voiceover class or an improv class. Just come have some fun, and you don't have to have necessarily a career in the arts to be artistic and to enjoy performance.
Yeah, I agree. I've met so many people, and I've said, you've got one heck of a voice. Have you ever thought about going into voice? I have no idea what you're talking about. And I'm like, that's what I'm talking about right there. So yeah, if you feel like you want to get in the arts, and hey, you don't have to pivot and stop and dump your career to do that. Have some fun. Come over here and enroll, and you never know. Make some extra money when you get out of school.
It's going to affect everything that you do.
Yeah,
it's going to make everything you do richer, regardless of what your career is.
There you go. Reis McCormick, Director of Development here at KD Conservatory. Thanks, Ryan. You got a meeting. I'll let you get off to your meeting. I'm glad that you took some time out of your day to come talk to us.
Sure.
Good stuff. I will. I plan on coming back. Coming up after the break, Michael Golderman. Get the name right. He's going to come up and talk about his film program and his history here at the KD and how it's helped him mold his future. That and a whole lot more. Stick around. 5:28 on this Tuesday afternoon. I'm going to have some Starbucks coffee and wake up. I'll be right back.